Yeah, my dad used to buy a lot of bootleg DVDs at his job.
It's crazy.
He'd be like, "Oh, I got this." He's like, "I don't want it."
My dad's got like iRobot in Chinese.
You don't want a second copy of Click? No, please take it away.
Oh yeah, Dirk used to grab those bootlegs at the Meadowlands flea market. Dude, your family loved that shit.
He was all about that.
Yeah.
All
Bootleg
right.
DVDs. Let's get some bootleg Blu-rays.
Yeah, you don't see bootleg physical media anymore.
I want a bootleg Blu-ray quality video of someone filming a video in a movie theater with a handy cam.
Yeah.
But in great quality. Like I'm actually there in the theater.
When we saw Corey, what movie was it that we saw like right before COVID that you were like went to the bathroom and somebody was like filming the movie?
Oh my god.
Was it Bombshell?
No, it was
The Hunt? Was it The Hunt?
No. It was that movie with Matthew McConaughey, White Boy Rick.
No, that was the one where we had the really annoying crowd.
I'm pretty sure it was the same movie.
That would not be worth recording based on like, how loud that one person was in the theater.
Maybe it was The Hunt. I thought it was White Boy Rick. It was definitely the same theater that we saw both of those movies in.
It was an upstairs theater.
Yeah.
At Lowe's.
Oh God.
White Boy Rick was downstairs. By like the concession stand.
But yeah, I was going to the bathroom and there was this like really like probably the shadiest guy that you could imagine just standing in the aisle with
Dude's got a trench coat on
with his
fucking old ass camcorder.
He didn't even have his phone. He had like a small camera and he's just filming the entire movie. It was weird.
That's fucking great. Do you think those types of people get infinitely more angry than we do when they get someone talking in a theater? Because now they're technically fucking with your income.
My movie.
God forbid someone.
This is how I feed my kids. God damn it!
God
you
forbid.
come here talking.
That's very true.
Like he's trying to film Gone Girl, and you just got some guy going, "I knew it, crazy bitch."
But they can't even say anything because they're committing a crime.
That's true.
They can't go down to like the fucking usher or something and be like, "Hey, someone's like talking during the movie. I'm trying to film it."
Sir, why do you have a camcorder? They just wait till you go to the bathroom and they're just waiting in the stall like, I'm trying to film this.
Yeah, I remember when we got out of the theater, like Corey tells me this. I'm like, did you do anything about it? No. I'm like, oh man.
I knew someone that actually got in trouble for that, and they were doing it for a long time, and the cops were waiting for them as they came out of the theater.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that would have been sick if that happened.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
You gotta treat them like assholes who talk during a movie.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Wasn't there a whole Seinfeld episode about, doesn't Jerry like start filming bootlegs? Because he's got like a really steady
Kramer, I think. Oh no, Kramer I think Kramer makes Jerry do it or something.
I kind of remember this.
Yeah, he had like a really steady hand or something, so they want him to keep doing the bootlegs.
Yeah, Dirk knows all about this. Kramer does it. Yeah, Dirk's our Seinfeld expert.
Let's see, this is why it's good to have people on Twitch. They can correct us and answer our questions.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's get on with the show, though. Today we're going to be talking about our favorite guilty pleasure movies. So these are movies that are, I guess, considered objectively bad, but we love them for the flawed masterpieces they are, or at least they just entertain us. But that'll be the main topic for today. Please comment with your guilty pleasure movies. We'll be sure to shout them out, and then let us know what you think of our picks as well. But rather than pose any sort of question to each other in today's coming attraction, I want to talk about somebody who passed away recently in the past week in film. It is Yaphet Kotto. He was an actor in Alien, The Running Man, Midnight Run. So he was in a lot of cool stuff back in the 70s and 80s in particular. But what's really crazy about this is that he's the fourth cast member of alien to pass away only in the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. And everyone who's died is dying in the order that they died in the movie.
That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Even if it's coincidence, that's 3 for 3 now.
4 for 4.
4 for 4. I'm fucking shaking in my boots if I'm
Yeah.
number 5.
It was they had 7 crew members in the film. So it's crazy just to think that like over half the alien cast now is already passed
Yikes.
away. When I mean the movie's what 40, a little over 40 years old at this
Mhm.
point.
Wow.
But it's still crazy to think like all these people are now no longer with us. But just the fact that they're all dying in the way that like they died in the film. Well, not the way they're not getting murdered.
I was gonna say.
But they're dying in the order is just like mind blowing. And technically, it's the order in the director's cut, not the theatrical version. But it also tied into our topic of last week of director's.
It's the year of the director's cut.
Yeah, we will be talking about the Snyder Cut later today, since we've all seen it now. So yeah, I mean, if I'm at this point, if I am Veronica Cartwright, I'm very nervous. She'd be next to go, and then Tom Skerritt, Sigourney Weaver will be with us forever.
Yeah.
She doesn't die in the film, so
She might
she's
be
the
the
only one who
first
doesn't die.
150-year-old person.
Yeah, or they'll clone her. It'll be like Alien Resurrection.
Oh god.
Hopefully better than that though. But yeah, it just I saw that somebody commented on a tweet this past week, and I looked it up. I'm like, damn, they're telling the truth. We lost John Hurt, then Harry Dean Stanton, then Ian Holm, and then now Yaphet Kotto. So
That's something.
yeah. But
That's we can talk about that next Halloween when we talk about more movie curses.
yes, we now have a new one. So Yaphet Kotto, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Definitely sucks. But you're a part of film history, and now you're a part of urban legend history. So
Hey, Bond villain too.
Oh, which one? Which one
He
was
was
it?
Mr. Big in Live and Let Die.
Oh, okay. So he's in one of the, well, at least had one of the best theme songs of all time. Not sure how successful the movie was. But all right, let's get on to the show. All right, welcome to Live Breathe Film, episode 37. You're here with Corey, Doug, JP, and Murph. Thanks as always for joining us. If you're live watching us on Twitch, extra thank you for that. Before we get into our main topic for today, let's just cover some news and what we watched over this past week, including Zack Snyder's Justice League and the series premiere of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. News is fairly light today. Nothing real crazy. There's a cool announcement. Have any of you guys seen A Time to Kill? It was with Matthew McConaghy, Sandra Bullock, Samuel L. Jackson, back in I think Kevin Spacey, back in the 90s.
I think so.
Is that a lawyer movie?
Yes, it is a lawyer movie.
Is it a Grisham book too?
It is a John Grisham book.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but my mom's a huge fan of those types of books and movies.
Okay, well,
I
yeah.
haven't seen it.
Well, Doug, I mean, you are a resident lawyer, so you should probably get on it and tell us if it's accurate or not.
Sure is.
But yeah, it came out in
movies are always
movies and
super
TV
accurate.
shows are always accurate. But yeah, it came out in 1996 in the summer. This was back when like movies about adult characters, like dealing with adult situations, can be on the cover of like summer movie previews and stuff like that. Before it just became like comic book movies and movies for the demographic that, if you're listening, are probably you like as well. But HBO announced that they're going to do the sequel novel to A Time to Kill called A Time for Mercy. So it was a John Grisham's follow-up, and Matthew McConaughey's character is the protagonist in this, and he's actually coming back.
Nice.
So he's getting he's returning to his roots of HBO and True Detective.
Yeah.
With this one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's going to be like an 8 to 10 episode limited series. But I'm really excited for it. The movie's fantastic. It's actually a Joel Schumacher film.
Wow.
So it's one of his good ones. We've talked on the program before how he's a very up and down filmmaker. But yeah, it's gonna be great seeing McConaughey in another drama. And we should probably be hearing more about this later this year.
Very cool. Like to see more McCons, you know?
Exactly. The we got to have a second reconnaissance.
Yes.
Once wasn't enough.
Yeah.
We need like a whole nother era of just great things from him.
I still haven't seen True Detective. I should probably.
I feel like that's up your alley.
Yeah, you'd
probably.
like it.
I just, Netflix keeps coming out with these B-tier documentaries. I got to watch them all. So.
Yeah, I mean, I would say you might enjoy season 1 and 3.
Yeah, I heard 2 was pretty bad.
2 wasn't good. Yeah, 3 I still need to watch.
But other than that, we got some release date news. Lin-Manuel Miranda's In the Heights adaptation it got pushed up a week, so it's no longer going to be opening up against Pixar's Luca. It's going to have basically the week to itself, and Luca will have the week to itself. So good follow-up news if you like the trailers that dropped with the Grammys. Another one that pushed back it's now on its 8th release date. It's been pushed around 7 times already. It's so if you it sucks if you're a huge Peter Rabbit fan, but Peter Rabbit 2 has been pushed back again another month and a half. You're now going to have to wait till the July 4th weekend. It's now occupying the spot that Minions 2 was going to have. So it's a good weekend for it. But if you were looking forward to seeing it in mid-May, sorry.
The question is will it get pushed back 2 more times to do the solid 10?
That would be impressive.
Ooh. Maybe it can make it all the way back to next Easter. The perfect time to release a movie about rabbits.
Yeah, I mean, it had release dates on Easter twice already. So,
there we go.
In 2020 and 2021. So we will see. Announced today is that Clint Eastwood's next movie that he's directing and starring in, Cry Macho, is coming out October 22nd on HBO Max and in theaters. This is another one that I'm sorry, Doug. Wow, is that what you said?
Yeah, just like I don't know. I just thought eventually Clint Eastwood would stop.
No,
no, he has to die first.
Clint Eastwood
and then he'll release 2 more movies.
He has to strain all sense of realism by in this movie. Oh God, let me read the summary.
Is he a high school cheerleader in this one?
I don't know if he's gonna have multiple threesomes like he did in.
Did he have threesomes in that Mule movie?
Yeah, in the Mule.
2 threesomes.
2 threesomes.
Oh
yeah.
Lord!
With different women each time.
Nice.
And he didn't pay for it either time either. But in this one,
and it serves 0 like plot point purpose at all.
Yeah, no.
Clint Eastwood just wanted to bang some chicks and or at least fake it and put it in
wonderful.
the film.
Good for you, Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, but in this one, he's a one-time rodeo star and washed-up horse breeder who, in 1978, takes a job from an ex-boss to bring the man's young son home and away from his alcoholic mom. However, crossing rural Mexico on their way back to Texas, the unlikely pair faces an unexpectedly challenging journey during which the world-weary horseman may find his own sense of redemption through teaching the boy what it means to be a good man. So I'm guessing he's going to fucking deal with cartel people or something like that.
He's on a cartel kick now, huh?
Apparently. I thought he was done with this shtick with fucking Gran Torino 13 years ago.
Dude,
he's still making the same movie that he claimed was his last one 13 years ago. It's mind-boggling. I mean, what is he? 90-something years old now, and he's still directing himself in these fucking action movies. It's crazy.
I mean, that's how he sees himself. Good for him.
No, I mean, I will be seeing it probably on HBO Max just because it's there.
I want another Dirty Harry now.
Yeah, I mean, and nothing's off the table. He's 90 years old. He'll be 91 in late May. So, my God, it's incredible.
I actually watched Gran Torino during quarantine. I'd never seen it before.
What'd you think?
It's a good movie. It's fucking depressing though. Holy shit.
The Mule's not depressing.
Yeah.
No, it's just threesomes apparently.
The mule is a fucking like, I don't know, an aphrodisiac for old men who just want to be like fucking super badass when they're almost 90 years old, like Clint Eastwood.
I remember when we saw that and we were not expecting it to be what it was. We were like, what is happening in this movie?
It was fucking funny. Like,
legit
funny. I didn't think I was going to be laughing throughout this movie. I hope he intended it to be funny.
No, it's Clint Eastwood. There's no fucking way he intended it to be funny.
But hey, I enjoyed it. And then the other movie that has been pushed back is for comic book fans, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Still dumb title, but wouldn't expect anything else less from the Venom sequel. It is now coming out September 17th. So it was when F9 moved back to late June. It basically had no choice but to move. But the good thing is it didn't get pushed all the way till December, and Spider-Man 3 didn't get pushed back to next year. So as of now, the order is still for Sony Spider-Man properties. We got Venom 2 in September, Spider-Man No Way Home in December, Morbius next February, I believe, or March, and then Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2 in October of 2022. So could be a pretty damn good year or 2 years for Sony and Spider-Man if they all end up actually coming out and being good movies.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, they've had a surprisingly good run ever since
I don't know how good a movie
Homecoming.
Morbius is going to be, though.
Neither do I, especially
Jared
after
Leto.
Jared Leto's performance in the Snyder Cut. We'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, guys. Any other thoughts about any news? Anything I missed? If not, we'll get into what we watched.
No, I think.
Do it.
All right, let's do it. Corey, you've dived into the worlds of Schitt's Creek. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I got to season 2, so
Damn.
yeah.
You watched like one episode, like what was it, like 2 days ago you texted us?
Yeah, we basically like binged it, over the past 48 hours. Really, actually, no, yesterday we watched most of it. Yeah, I mean it's entertaining. It hasn't like really grabbed me yet. Catherine O'Hara is fantastic. She's probably my favorite character at this point. She's just so entertaining. But the other characters haven't really they just haven't grabbed me. I don't really like any of them. The family, I just think they're so tone deaf, and I know that's part of it, but it bothers the shit out of me for the most part. And and Chris Elliott I like a lot. He's probably my favorite character, Roland.
Rolling shit.
But I mean, it's like mildly entertaining. I do enjoy it. I've laughed a bit, but at this point, I'm not in love with it. Apparently, I have to keep watching. It just continues to get better.
I had said at the end of season 2 is when the tone changes.
Okay.
So
how many seasons are there?
I think
6
6
seasons.
Right?
6 seasons. Jesus, I thought there was only 3 for some reason.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it gets much more lighthearted, and the family starts becoming more like normal people and part of the town, and not just being disgusted with the fact that they're in this situation.
Stevie, I like. She's been growing on me. There's characters that are growing on me, but I'm not over that hill yet. So
you'll probably get there.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a show that it took until season 6 for everyone to be like the media and everyone to be like, "Oh, this show's great," and
yeah, that's crazy.
and winning all awards and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, somewhat like Breaking Bad, where it grew its following over time. All right, well, report back when you get further on down.
Definitely.
Doug?
Yeah, so I've started my Oscar preparations by starting to watch the Oscar movies that I can get a hold of for free, since I still don't want to pay $20 for Minari.
Yeah,
so
I watched
a
few that I'd want to see. I want to see that one, Another Drink with Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, that one's supposed to be good.
got nominated for Best Director, and it's supposed to be
Well,
really
that's $20 still right now too.
good. Yeah, that's another.
I keep clicking on it. I click
The
on that
premise
Minari and just
the
watch.
premise sounds like ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it's all in another language, right?
Yeah, I think it's from they filmed in like Denmark. But
Okay.
for anyone who's listening that's not familiar with it, it's about like four, I think like college professors who decide to like go on a mission of being permanently like buzzed. It's supposed to be pretty funny.
Yeah, it looked good. I like Mads Mikkelsen, so
Yeah. All right, but tell us about Nomadland.
also watched Wolfwalkers, which maybe I'll talk about sometime. It's animated. It's nominated for best animated movie. It's free on Apple Plus.
Oh, okay. Never heard of it. So yeah.
People want to check it out. But yeah, the movie that I picked this week to talk about was Nomadland, which I think from an Oscar perspective is probably the front runner for Best Picture.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you guys or our listeners are familiar with the movie, but it mainly revolves around Frances McDormand's character, who basically loses her job and everything, is a widower during the Great Recession, and basically lives her life out of a van, just driving around, working odd jobs, and meeting other people who have taken into this nomad lifestyle of living out of your van. And it seemed pretty realistic for living in a van, because I think there's a scene where she's like shitting in a bucket, and there's like conversation about shitting in a bucket. She's heating up like canned soup. It's definitely like seems
fun.
what it would be like to live out of a van. But
is she ever down by the river?
I think she does go down by a river. Yep. Yeah, this is like a very somber movie, I would say. Beautifully shot. I thought Chloe Zhao, is that how you say her name? Who will be directing?
I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
Yeah,
we'll hear it on Oscar night. They'll definitely be pronouncing it on Oscar night.
Yeah, when they give her the Oscar. And we'll hear a lot more with Immortals coming in the next
Eternals.
Or Eternals is correct.
Yeah, I got that Immortals movie.
It was
supposed to be in phase 3, and they just canceled it.
There was gonna be a TV show, and then they were like, "Yeah, no, this isn't happening."
Yeah,
Feige killed it. Yeah, Frances McDormand does a really great job of playing this like rough homeless woman that lives in a van, but I don't know that I've seen her be bad in a movie.
She's always good.
Yeah, she's just in everything.
She's just really good. What I found really surprising or really interesting is the supporting cast also was really good. Like everybody, and I think some of the supporting cast members may have been like nomads, like people that actually do live out of a van that they just had act in movies.
Oh, really?
Or act in this movie. And so it made it feel really authentic. You really felt like, it almost kind of felt like a documentary. Like you were just following these people around, living their nomad lifestyle. But yeah, it's something that'll pick me up. I think I felt really sad for the rest of the day after watching this.
That's not good.
Yeah. If you combine this with like a double feature with Sound of Metal, you may
if you do it with Sound of Music, you might
you may actually
be very conflicted.
It may actually lift you up. But Sound of Metal, I don't know. I wouldn't combine Nomadland and Sound of Metal together.
Yeah, it sounds like a recipe for
too much depressing. Yeah, too much depressing content in one day. But it's worth checking out. It's like I said, the acting is really good. The story's entertaining. I was never bored by it. It's a pretty quick movie. I want to say it's under 2 hours. And it's the acting is really the movie. Didn't really feel like there was too much of a story. It felt, I almost wonder like how much of it was just improv, just because some of the conversations just felt very real. It's either really great screenwriting or they improv a lot of it. Definitely worth checking out. I won't be upset if this wins the Best Picture. Probably one of the better movies I've seen this year, but I don't know. Just it's depressing. So just keep that in mind when you're gonna fire it up.
All right. Well, yeah, when I told you I watched Sound of Metal this week and that was depressing, you were like, yeah, Nomadland's depressing too. I was like, all right, I will not be watching that this weekend then. I'll wait till next weekend to give it a shot.
Yeah, I'd space those guys out.
Yeah.
Something about
All
Oscar
right.
movies and being depressing, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of their jam.
Yeah, I don't think you can win if it's a happy movie.
Yeah, exactly. You're not allowed to like smile at the end of the film. All right. JP, you went back to the era of Blockbuster Video, eh?
I did, yeah. I saw a nice new Netflix produced documentary. So obviously, had to check it out. And it's called The Last Blockbuster. And it tells a story about the last remaining Blockbuster, which is in Bend, Oregon. Still running. You can still go there and rent DVDs. It was a really neat story. And for someone that grew up renting movies from Blockbuster, I mean, we used to spend hours in a Blockbuster together when we would all wander around town. We'd go to the Blockbuster, just look at movies, never buy anything, and leave. It was a nice little trip down memory lane, and some people are still living that dream. They have a lot of comedians that they interviewed throughout this. So Kevin Smith is a big name in this. He does a lot of the interviews. Had Jamie Kennedy, Doug Benson. They interviewed Lloyd Kaufman, who I didn't know who the fuck Lloyd Kaufman was, but apparently he made all the Toxic Avenger movies, and he really hates Blockbuster because they would never put his movies in Blockbuster. They do about
they wouldn't put the trauma video movies.
No, they wouldn't. They had 112 seconds with Lloyd Kaufman, and he pretty much just went off on Blockbuster. Called him a whole bunch of horrible names. Had Brian Posehn. Adam Brody was in it, which I found odd because I was like, "Who the fuck cares what Adam Brody's doing?"
Why was he in it?
He was hanging out, and then Sam Levine was there too. So pretty eclectic
group.
Yeah, pretty eclectic. Oh, Paul Scheer too, who apparently worked at a Blockbuster for a decade. Jamie Kennedy as well, and worked for them doing an acting gig. It's neat. It tells the whole story about Blockbuster. It talks a lot about how movie rental places just came about to begin with. Apparently back in the 80s when they first started bringing out home movies, they cost $100 to buy a VHS.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
I remember that.
So these places would just buy them and then rent them out and pay for them and make money off of that, which I found insane.
I didn't know that was how video stores started, but I do remember when they would first come on video, they'd be like $100, and you'd have to just wait until you rented it at first, and then finally they would sell them in stores for normal pricing.
It's ridiculous. They actually got sued. So these video rental places got sued by the companies, by the filmmakers, and it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and they said they're well within their rights to do this. So they had to fight a lot to get that done. And then Blockbuster just came around, and it started in Dallas, Texas. They had about 20 stores, and then it got bought up by the guy that owned Waste Management, and he just fucking zoomed it away, and it became this crazy thing. And they would buy up all these mom and pop shops, flip them into Blockbusters almost overnight, and then it's crazy.
Would turn into full-fledged stores so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I remember going to the grand opening in our hometown back in 1992. They had fucking people making balloon animals and all this. It was a whole event. Man, I fucking love that store back in the day.
It's great.
Yeah, that's something
I saw
to watch.
I haven't seen the movie. I saw the trailer to this because I was thinking about watching it, and I saw it was like a little clip of Kevin Smith, and they were talking about how the way that like Blockbuster put everybody out of business was that profit sharing model where they went to the studios and said, hey, like we'll let you share in the profit, rather than having to buy, I guess they said video stores at the time could only afford like 3 movies
Yeah.
on the shelf at a time because they were so expensive because they had to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
And Blockbuster was just like, with this profit sharing model, like here's 100 movies.
Yeah, they would get them for I think $2 to $5 from the studio for each copy, which is
they have that entire like fucking shelf just with one movie.
Yeah.
yeah, and they
Yeah.
would still never have fucking copies when we wanted them.
Yeah. Like a big release, it would be just like that entire wall.
It brought back a lot of good memories. They talked about how people would, when you would stalk and you would just sit in the store and wait for someone to return something and just run up and be like, well, I need that because I've been waiting for that.
That's funny.
Taking, going there just on a date with your girlfriend and spending 20 minutes trying to pick out a movie. She picks one, you pick one, and then you argue for 15 minutes trying to figure out who's going to get to watch their movie this week.
And then you end up getting both.
Yeah, and then you end up getting both
It
and
was
watching
like the original like Netflix search.
It
I
was.
was gonna say now you do it at home.
Yeah.
Netflix.
Well, they talk about that and they say, it was kind of like, and they said it very weirdly, it's kind of like foreplay. You go through, you pick your movies, you pick your snacks. Now you just got Netflix and chill where you just put something on and it's creepy because you're already in the living room or whatever. It was a really good watch. I mean, for people who grew up going to a Blockbuster every day, and we would stay there until about midnight. It brought back a lot of really fun memories of renting movies, renting DVDs. Hell, I rented a PS2 from Blockbuster.
Oh yeah, Sega
And
Saturn. I
3
did the same
games.
Oh
thing
yeah,
with
when it
Sega
first
Saturn.
came out, right?
Yeah, I rented the console and I rented the games and I could play it for a week and then bring it back.
Would you rent like Gran Turismo 3 or something like that, or not? Or
No, I
did
bought.
you get that when you bought the system?
I bought the Gran Turismo 3 package. I think I bought some really shit games. I had whatever they had at the time. So
Yeah, I mean the PS2 lineup was real shit when it came
Yeah.
out.
we used to rent VCR from there because they would rent out VCRs when we went up to Pennsylvania. We didn't have a VCR. We had a computer monitor, so would you hook the VCR to the computer monitor and watch VHSs when we were up there? It was so cool. And there are some weird people in Bend, Oregon, still living that life. They interview one guy who's a regular there, and he goes and rents movies. He's pretty much the exact guy you would think still rents movies.
Well, I hope he gets to rent movies there for a long time.
They Blockbuster cards. If you go to Bend, Oregon, you get your own Blockbuster card. They made it into this whole novelty thing, and it's basically Dish, who owns Blockbuster now, allows them to use the name for this mom and pop store, and it's worked out really well for them. I definitely recommend watching it for at least us because we grew up doing this. And if you were out there, anyone listening, that Blockbuster was a big part of your life growing up, it definitely it's a nice little watch. It's a fun time.
Good stuff. Yeah, now I'm gonna have to check this out because, like you said, it's a huge part of our life growing up. The amount of time that we'd spend there. I mean, trying to find a movie to watch.
Think about a Blockbuster right now, and you can probably smell it. They all smelled exactly the same.
Yeah.
They all looked exactly the same. They had the exact same carpet.
True.
Absolutely crazy.
All right. Then I watched Sound of Metal, like I said. Before I get to that, just 2 quick updates on things that I talked about last week. That other time loop movie, The Map of Tiny Perfect Things, I think that's called, on Amazon Prime. You can skip it. It's the first skippable time loop movie. It's not like it's not a bad movie, but it's like just something we haven't seen before and done way better by every other one. And then I caught up on JP's most hated movie, I Care a Lot. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it. And I thought it was entertaining. It's basically like if the girl from Gone Girl, you knew she was fucked up and like a sociopath the entire time. Like from the moment the movie starts. And then she gets into outrageous shit. It's so far-fetched and not believable by like the second half of the movie. But it had me entertained just from like the actors in it. Rosamund Pike, Peter Dinklage, Chris Messina, Diane Wiest, a bunch of others. But yeah, they were so clearly trying to do like the Gone Girl vibe of like her character,
Yeah.
like, cool girl, and they didn't do it as successfully as David Fincher. No surprise, because David Fincher is
it feels like they fucked up and tried to brand it as a comedy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought it was like I would describe it as a black comedy / I'd probably just call it a black comedy, with some like thriller elements to it.
But like the first half an hour of the movie is very clearly not a black comedy. That's what gets me.
Yeah,
is that they set this dramatic movie in the first act, and then it just it like needle scratches. It's like a Jim Carrey movie, but with action.
Like the like whole premise of like what she was doing was like so fucked up. It's like kind of funny. Like just like it's really messed up. But then it went way deeper into the comedy, like as it went along, while also getting darker in some ways. Like her story was getting darker.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a movie where if you got time to kill, and well, watch A Time to Kill if you got time to kill, in preparation for the new miniseries. But if you're on Netflix and browsing and stuff like that, I would say it's worth checking out if you got some time to spare.
I respectfully disagree, but
that's why we talk about these things. Yeah, and if you watch it, let us know what you think. But yes, Sound of Metal. This is the one where the drummer, who's a former addict, loses his hearing, like basically like that. It just suddenly goes. Super scary. I totally empathize with him. I have crap hearing in one ear. I can't even imagine how horrible it'd be to not be able to hear at all.
Oh yeah, that's my nightmare.
Yeah. So you're basically seeing the aftermath of him lose his hearing. He also lives in a well, not a, what was you said Francis Norman's in a van or a trailer?
It's a van. I think he's in like a trailer. Yeah, it's definitely way than what she's in.
He's got like an RV.
Yeah, he's got like an RV with his girlfriend /
That's
bandmate.
a step up.
But once he does, like, he needs to get admitted somewhere, because she's worried about him relapsing, because obviously he's freaking out about everything, and so he gets admitted into a like deaf community, where they also seem to deal with addiction, to a degree. I guess.
Yeah, it's like a rehab group that's for deaf people.
But it's also like it's a full community. Like there's a school, like a deaf school, like nearby, that is where he learns how to sign and live with the fact that he's no longer hearing and everything like that. But it's a very well made movie. It's just a super bummer to watch. Like it kind of treats his loss of hearing like hearing was kind of an addiction for him as well, because of like what he did. Like he's a drummer, like it all depends on Sam. So like he's trying to like catch that high of like hearing again by like selling things to get money for surgery and things like that, which I thought was an interesting play on the whole addiction topic, like versus him just starting to use again, which, spoiler alert, he does not use. But Paul Raci, who was in the movie, is nominated for Best Supporting Actor, along with Riz Ahmed, who's nominated for Best Actor. They're both very good. Paul Raci, Doug, you had mentioned on the last episode when we were talking Oscar nominations. Did you say you thought he was deaf?
Yeah, I thought he was deaf, but then I looked it up. He's a child of two deaf parents.
Yeah. So that's why he was so good with like being able to act out that role, because he's been doing sign his whole life, and he's also been speaking his whole life, been around deaf people his whole life. So he was characters kind of like able to do it all, and it really came across as a very authentic performance. I read an interview where he was knocking actors who have tried to like play deaf characters before, and it's like it's just not like the same as if you like have a like deaf actor or like child of like a deaf actor or a deaf parent. Just a completely different type of experience. But yeah, it's a very good movie. I guess Riz Ahmed would probably be my pick for Best Actor at the Academy Awards, based on the performance. I don't necessarily think it's the strongest group of nominees, but yeah, I'd have to take another look at the Best Supporting Actors, but I could definitely see Paul Raci being my pick for Supporting Actor. But yeah, it's on Prime Video, so you can check it out. Just know it's not exactly the most uplifting film.
Did you? So one of the things I thought I liked about it when I watched it was I found it educational about the deaf community, just because this isn't something I was that familiar with. Educational about surgery that he's trying to get for cochlear implants.
Yeah,
which I didn't know anything about. I assume if you like got cochlear implants, you could just like hear
completely normally again. That's
yeah.
That's what I was under the impression of from all those videos where you see like babies or something, or like toddlers like get those implants and then they hear for the first time. But it's like definitely it's not like hearing like we hear. But I think that's a good thing for like if you're young, you have that like type of thing. For then it's awesome. You're like you don't know what bad hearing is, so
Yeah.
for all they know, it's good hearing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sound that they had in this when you hear like cochlear implants is definitely like a irritating, strange like type of experience, especially in like the crowded areas where he really can't hear again once he's in a crowded area because there's just so much going on that it's trying to pick up. And yeah, just all the different types of ways they would speak to each other with like computer, like talk to text, like on computer screens, talk to text or talk to voice on or if someone calls on a phone and they're talking, how it comes into text also,
Right,
like
right.
for the other person on the line. A lot of interesting ways for them to communicate that wasn't possible however many years ago.
Yeah. It was kind of crazy. What did you think? You think they're gonna win for sound mixing?
They
Probably.
should, right?
Just based on all the way that they like mess with sound to kind of make you
they mess
feel
with,
like
whether it's complete silence or like lowering it so much where it sounds extremely muffled, it's very hard to hear, or like the cochlear implant sound. You do a lot of different ways. When they're like resting, like the one part where the kid's resting on the slide, so he's like listening to Riz Ahmed when he's kind of like drawing on the slide. I thought that was a cool sound effect and scene. So yeah, I would think sound is their blues. It's literally in the title of the movie.
yeah. Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, just like you, I'll be catching up on some more Oscar movies over the next couple weeks. All right, now let's get into the superhero shit.
Superheroes.
We'll start with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, since it was just the season premiere, and then get into the meat of the what we watched section for today, which is Zack Snyder's Justice League. All right, for season premiere, what do you guys think? It was obviously very different from WandaVision. Told the story more similar to other superhero shows in the past.
I thought it was really strong for
kind of just building it, introducing all these new characters.
Yeah, I thought it was really strong for a.
I'm sorry. Oh.
Yeah, I'm having some issue with my connection, I guess.
I was like, are we short-circuiting from us?
No, you guys like
Corey's program is corrupt.
You stopped talking, and I'm like, internet. Oh, the internet.
It's pretty strong for him.
Oh man. Yeah, no, it was pretty strong for I don't know, season premiere superhero show.
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad. It didn't blow me away. It's not like watching WandaVision for the first time, where it was a truly interesting and unique concept.
Mhm.
It
Yeah,
felt like a
this is-
mini Marvel movie.
Exactly. It was more MCU. It was like more of the same MCU like stuff. It felt like a Captain America Chris Evans.
Yeah, I like how they set it all up with him ironing, because Iron
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, clever. I didn't even think of that.
I just saw it on some fucking stupid videos. It was good. I'm excited for next week. I like how it was longer. It was closer to an hour, right? Or was it an hour?
It
about
was in the
40 something
40s.
minutes. I think it was 49, but that was the credits and stuff, which seemed to
Gotcha.
be very
It's
long.
like 5 minutes, 6 minutes of credits.
Yeah.
Um,
But it was I mean, that's twice as long as WandaVision's premiere.
Sure.
but we're getting 3 less episodes, right? This is 6. Wanda was 9.
Correct.
So we got to imagine that these episodes are going to be longer.
As it goes on. Yeah. That seems to be par for the course with these TV shows.
Yeah.
I hope they.
As they get the longest at the end.
I thought we got a lot of action for the first episode, more so than I thought. The beginning scene with the with Falcon flying around and flying through helicopters and
Can we address
doing
how
all
many
sorts-
people he fucking kills in that scene too?
Dude,
There's a lot
Yeah.
of dead people.
I was thinking during that exact scene, I'm like, yo, they kill a lot of people in the MCU. Like, this isn't
Yeah.
like Batman where they try not to kill, where he like refuses to kill people. Like, they just
No,
murder people. Like, and they're what are they? They don't get paid for this job, and they just kill people.
No, yeah, they're straight up murdering people.
Did you guys notice
And
that?
I think Batroc,
Yeah, Batroc.
I think Batroc might have the longest life expectancy of any Marvel villain. I don't think they'll ever kill him. I think he's just gonna pop up in movies doing petty crimes, petty international crimes. I suppose. I don't know what he was trying to do, but
He'll never
I guess he was
die.
trying to steal a pilot. So, yeah, I thought that was silly, but
Yeah, he
but
made his
fun.
first appearance since Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
The Captain America movie. But yeah, what action scene? I mean, we got, I guess, what do we get? 3 action scenes total. Kind of riot type one, the one with Winter Soldier on his assassination mission, and then the one in the beginning.
Yeah.
What did you guys? Which one did you like the most?
I like the riot one, to be perfectly honest. It wasn't flashy by any means, but I thought that man was going to get his head stomped into like a pumpkin. Like I thought it was going to explode. I'm surprised it didn't. The moment I saw his character, I said, "That guy's gonna die," and then
Yeah.
he almost did. I honestly think they upped the acting budget too with this one because the supporting actors are actually good in this.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because they're clearly
Yes.
playing a like more dramatic type thing. I feel like WandaVision, they were like the tone, like, well, is it a sitcom? Like, am I hamming it up a little bit? Because it is more of a comedy. But
Maybe the outside world in WandaVision was really just riffing on NCIS or something, and we're all fools for mocking their acting.
that's imagine that. Yeah, but I like the Winter Soldier assassination. I thought was really well done. That was the one that grabbed me the most. It's
Good one.
wild seeing Bucky back in that mode.
yeah.
And we haven't fully seen that in a long time at this point.
Did you guys expect it to tie back into the story? Because I was completely blindsided by how that tied
No,
back in.
I didn't expect that to happen. So that was fun for me.
Yeah, usually you caught it.
I caught on when he was having drinks with the one girl, like right after the therapy session. I was like, oh shit. And then they reveal it, and it was, yeah, pretty crazy though. I mean, that's a lot of thinking for a Marvel TV show.
And then, well, we got some Don Cheadle in there, so we've already had an MCU cameo. Got to get Zemo or Sharon Carter, but we have our new Captain America now.
Yeah.
And it is not the Falcon or the Winter Soldier.
Good old Wyatt
So-
Russell.
Surprise!
Terrible in that helmet too.
I know.
Yeah,
it
it doesn't
does
look good.
not work with his face at all. But yeah, we got John Walker coming into play, so we should actually see him act next week. A great actor. In what I've seen, I mean, 22 Jump Street, fantastic. But yeah, it was a little cool surprise that it didn't end up being the two of them for now. Obviously, I expect things to change. So yeah, any other thoughts about the episode?
I really like the therapy scene. I thought that was honestly probably far and away the best scene in the show. It just, for some reason, it was pretty cool to think about, what he would have had to gone through and what he has to overcome. And he's got his little list. And then when he breaks into the car and punches the guy just to apologize to the woman, I got a pretty solid laugh out of that.
Yeah. I mean, he's had it even crazier than he's been like awake, even like for a shorter amount of time than Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
They freeze him all the fucking time between World War II and Winter Soldier,
Winter
and
Soldier,
then
yeah.
they freeze him again after Civil War, and then he disappears for 5 years. So like he really hasn't been fucking alive and living a real life for much time at all.
Imagine every time you woke up from a nap, they made you to go do fucked up shit and put you back to sleep. Yeah, that wouldn't be fun.
What do you think of the side story with Falcon and his family? You think it can go anywhere?
I'm sure it will.
Yeah, I would imagine it's gonna play into it somehow. I don't know. It still kind of seems like a weird concept that they're just poor.
Yeah.
I mean, like all.
Yeah.
Seemed very
Like,
forced.
it just, the fact that you have had Tony Stark's involved in the Avengers, it's just like mind-boggling that none of them have any money.
Yeah, Tony wasn't just throwing money at everyone.
Or when he dies, he leaves, I don't know, like retroactive pay to every single person that served. You would think he'd have the money.
I was reading in the comics, everyone used to get like a weekly, like $1,000 stipend.
Hell yeah, making that money.
They don't get that in this version.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It makes you think like Falcon should have just sold that damn shield.
Yeah,
and some money.
He would have made a lot of money. Are the Avengers still together? Have they said?
They haven't said.
Gotcha.
I don't think so. Did they?
Doesn't seem they are. All right.
Have they established exactly when this takes place too? Like
they did.
Yeah, there was.
Right?
I think it was. I thought he said 5. Maybe it's 6. Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot everyone that got snapped. I forgot the Falcon got snapped. I didn't.
How could you forget that? It was on your left. That's the big return of all the snap people.
It's true. I just thought he came out of nowhere. I also don't like the fact that his sister's giving him shit for getting snapped away. Like, she's like, you don't know what it's like having. I got fucking turned into dust.
It sucked.
I did not exist.
I poof back 5 fucking years later, and it's like you to give me shit for getting poofed away, and it wasn't even my fault.
What I really like that the Marvel universe though has done is like everything we've seen post snap or blip, like there's not just like a.
I really don't like
it's
the
not just like
blip. They could have come up with something cooler than that.
Yeah, well, I don't know who came up with the blip. Spider-Man,
the new guy.
Somebody at Marvel.
Well, was the first movie that ever called it the blip Spider-Man?
Yeah, because it was Zoomers. They were talking about that. The Zoom word.
And that seems like the word that they went with, I guess, because they figured people wouldn't realize that Thanos snapped everyone away. But I would imagine they would know by now. It seemed like WandaVision, they were pretty well aware of what happened in that fight.
Yeah,
so
I like to think that Bruce Banner is as much of a leaker of storylines as Mark Ruffalo is. So he probably just went around telling everyone that he snapped.
Hey guys, I'm the one who brought you all back.
Yeah, I would have preferred the
I
snap.
snapped, he snapped, we snapped.
I'm the one who ruined the economy more and totally disrupted families and everything because I brought everyone back who should be dead.
Yeah. I like that they went with that angle though. It's still going too. Like the whole economy of the world.
I'm glad
will
they did not
change.
drop that.
Yeah.
That would just be the craziest thing that's ever happened in the world. So if you just stop thinking about it after one movie, that's just not realistic.
Like, oh, everything's back to normal.
Especially when they're responsible for it happening.
Do you think everyone got richer when half the world snapped away?
There'd be a lot of inheritances that would be going to people that wouldn't have had it.
I feel like the economy would fucking plummet.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would get a lot more money.
Yeah, more money.
And then yes, a lot of businesses would just be shuttered because the people in charge of them gone. It would be an absolute shit show. The Leftovers was a shit show with only like 3% of the world's population disappearing, let alone 50%.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was pretty dark for 3% disappearing. Be interesting if they all came back, how everyone would react to that in the Leftovers.
It would have been. Probably would have stayed dark.
Yeah. A lot of people moved on and they're just like, fuck.
Like, why are these people in white robes chain smoking cigarettes and causing like tons of trouble? Who are they?
Wait,
were they show?
I've never seen that show.
Yeah, either way.
Yeah, it's just
really good, but
it looked interesting.
Fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about how we don't want to watch
right?
depressing movies back to back. I mean, that's a show that's just like it's depressing and it just stays there the entire time.
First season, especially, never like Misery Born.
Yikes.
All right, we'll talk more about Falcon and the Winter Soldier next week. I don't think we have anything else to talk about it with it now. It was only one episode, only 40 minutes. Let's talk about the big behemoth that was 4 hours. That is Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yay, Snyder Cut
on HBO Max.
Did we all do it in one sitting?
No.
I did. I paused it.
I did.
I paused it every chapter and like would be like, "Wow, this movie is fucking cool. I thought it was gonna suck. I actually like it." And would get like refills and like take a piss. But
yeah,
so I watched it in like 5 hours.
Sure. About the same here, except for the meeting.
Yeah, I watched it throughout the day, but I definitely want to sit down and watch the whole thing again, like in one sitting. But
dude, right?
Yeah,
I want to watch it again.
I watched a bit of it over the weekend, like maybe like the first 2 chapters, but I didn't watch the whole thing. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it really is pretty awesome.
It's the one thing that I'm like fascinated about. I think I said this to Murph. The scenes that are in both versions of the film, a lot of them I felt were like so shoehorned and ridiculous in the 2017 version, and then seeing them in this version of the movie, it like makes sense and it just works. Like a lot of the things just work. It's just amazing, like how conflicting visions. You know, I don't even know if it was really Joss Whedon, the studio, because I'm pretty confident that the studio, you know, was running the ship at that point. But you know, the 2 visions that were just so unbelievably different. But I mean, the movie's over 4 hours, so I don't know how you release that type of movie in theaters unless it's 2 parts.
Well, so I was watching Red Letter Media before I turned this on. They were talking about the Justice League.
Me too.
Yeah. There is a perfect point in the middle of the movie where you could have cut it off, added a bookend scene, and then made it 2 movies.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't that the
instead
original?
Instead of doing whatever the fuck Joss Whedon did to that movie.
Wasn't that the original plan?
Originally announced as a 2-part. It was originally announced as a 2-part movie.
Yeah. And then they just
but it
threw
wasn't
that out the
this
window.
movie.
No, this
going to be the
was
2-parter.
supposed to be this movie, and then the next one was supposed to be the Dark Side shit, right?
What is now the 2 and 3?
Yeah.
Because now Zack Snyder has it planned as if it was ultimately a 5-part series. We've seen 1 through 3.
I don't know what he came up
more
with
to
that.
go.
fucking
How-
5-part series.
Yeah, starting with Man of Steel, then
Mm.
Batman versus
you-
Superman.
do you
then
really-
Justice League, and then 2 more.
Do you really think you could cut this movie in half? Because the first half is really just like
There are no superheroes.
wandering around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no
Like a good chunk of the movie would be like Ben Affleck riding around, like exploring to get to Aquaman.
yeah, the first like half hour of the movie is just that.
Superheroes don't show up until 2 hours into the movie.
Yeah, you don't see Batman until 2
Yeah.
hours into it.
Yeah.
Because you get Wonder Woman in the
But you see
beginning,
Aquaman.
but that's just barely. Yeah, but he's just a fucking alcoholic that
No-
doesn't want to wear a shirt.
My man.
I don't know. I
God.
think
The Flash
he can
gets
play
that
you
one.
good.
The Flash gets the one cool scene.
It's cool,
yeah,
yeah.
that-
With
really
Iris
cool.
West
The effects were awesome.
rescuing her
Yeah.
from the car. Yeah, that
I
was
like
cool.
those effects more than Quicksilver in other versions.
Mm.
Yeah, they did a lot of good stuff with him. I think his Flash powers were really well represented in that. I thought
Yeah.
it looked really cool. He stares really lovingly into the eyes of a hot dog, though.
Yeah.
And that weirded me out.
I still don't
He
like
puts in his pocket.
Yeah, that was a little strange.
I still don't like Ezra Miller as Barry. I like
No?
absolutely no. I fucking hate him as
Yeah.
Barry. He is not Barry
I
Allen.
mean, he's not Barry
He's
Allen.
not Barry Allen.
No, but he's Wally West as Barry Allen, and
I don't like it.
none of these
Somebody
people
else.
are
I
the
think
actual
I like
superheroes.
character. I've no representation.
Yeah.
Or no experience seeing any representation.
Barry
of
Allen
any
is a
Flash.
dry nerd.
Yeah, from what I hear,
Mhm.
he's playing.
He's kind of like a Steve Rogers type of like goody two shoes, like
Kind of.
Well, I get why they're not doing
straight-laced.
that. They already have multiple goody two shoes on the team.
Yeah.
With
Jay-
Superman and Wonder
Yeah.
Woman.
Yeah.
they really just should have done like Wally West. but-
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think no one would have really gotten that. Like, you think if they throw Wally West in as the Flash, no one's gonna have any fucking idea who he is.
Right.
Maybe like starting with Miles
Miles.
Morales as your first Spider-Man. Be a little weird for the people that have watched the character or read the character for however many years.
I thought he was infinitely less insufferable in this version, though.
He was because they removed a
Let's
lot
talk
of
about
like a lot of his like really awkward scenes, but he did have like some awkward moments in this, but they weren't nearly as bad.
I thought they made him.
I
Did
thought
you
every
watch?
character made it out like looking good. I don't think
Took his shirt off like 6 times.
yeah,
Drank that alcohol. Remember that time?
Oh.
Drank that alcohol.
he
Yeah.
did that.
Mhm.
Gal Gadot didn't get too much to do, but I've talked about it. I think she's just got a good presence, a strong presence, despite her acting not being strong.
Can't act.
We talked
so-
about it. She's female Arnold Schwarzenegger. She can't act for shit. She
Yeah.
can beat the shit out of stuff on
And
screen,
look
it's
pretty,
fine.
and that's it.
Believable when she's a superhero. When it's like Fast and the Furious and you have like a 85-pound woman flipping people around, I believe it a little bit less, but
Yeah,
he plays it well.
I like how they represented her her fighting
Her theme song every 15 minutes.
Well, no, that I hate that theme song. I
they
guess
loved playing the theme song.
Yeah.
I was super happy with like every time the Man of Steel song came
Yeah,
on.
that's
I
a
thought
good
that
song.
Hans Zimmer like score was fucking awesome. Does Batman? What was his score?
What? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
I have no idea what Batman's was. I guess that's why, like, when Dan Elfman was doing the 17 one, he's like, I'm just gonna throw my old elements of my 89 score in there.
That was really out of place.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, the way that they represented like her fighting a bit differently in this, like it was brutal. Like in that, what was it, like the bank scene in the beginning?
Yeah.
That was I
Yeah.
was not expecting. I remember reading something like the day before that people were, I guess, who watched it said that like it was really, really jarring how much different like she just destroys people in this movie compared to like Wonder Woman. So that was cool. I like that.
Yeah, in Wonder Woman 1984, she's like playfully fighting people.
Yeah, then she's like straight up murdering people. Just
Yeah,
like it's crazy too. It's like the Captain America stuff where he like can kick people when they go flying into the wall. Except for this in the Zack Snyder Their version, it's like blood everywhere.
He loves the blood. Every time someone hits a wall, there's a head-shaped thing of blood streaking down. I think I saw brains in one of them once too.
Well, even
Dude hates skulls.
even Steppenwolf. Like I noticed it the second time around. A couple of those scenes that
was so unnecessarily brutal.
Yeah, those action scenes where he has his axe, he is like fucking destroying Amazonians or Amazons, whatever.
Horse and throws it.
Yeah, I was like, my
The
god.
horse over by its reins. I was like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, I was not expecting it to be as brutal as it was.
Let's talk about the cyborg of it all.
Oh man, if I'm Ray Fisher, I'm not being upset about whatever Joss Whedon did to me personally. I'm being upset what Joss Whedon did to my fucking character story, because he's got such a better story arc in this, and Joss Whedon just cut it all out.
That was always a frustrating thing for me.
This is the Ray Fisher cut.
Yeah,
it really is. He was so good in it.
He was really good. Storyline with his dad was great. His whole backstory. How he ended up the way he did. They told it very well. It was emotional.
None of that in the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, he was such a pivotal part in this movie, and like how they ultimately like win. And nothing. Like movie ends with a fucking monologue from his dad.
Yeah.
Which goes to show how important he was. Well, he technically end there because they tack on 3 additional scenes afterwards.
They do the Lord of the Rings.
Zach's just like, look at all the cool shit I filmed.
Yeah.
It was really just look at all the shit I filmed.
They should have just did them after credits.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
And they were all...
Because it would have ended like very beautifully, like each and everything they were showing. But then once it gets into the Lex Luthor stuff, that's when like, all right, this is like credit stuff. Like,
it's all set up stuff.
Yeah, all set up for movies that aren't going to happen. So those do three scenes during the credits and after the credits.
Which we had. One was the original film footage, right?
It was similar because you're talking about the Lex one in Arkham.
Yeah.
So instead of giving him Batman's identity, he talks about joining, setting up League of Doom.
Yeah,
which I think is awesome. And I think they should do League of Doom, but
in this, they're clearly setting up Ben Affleck's Batman movie.
Yeah, which would have been fucking cool as hell.
Yep.
But I think if you're DC and you wanted to get ahead of Marvel, do the League of Doom, because that's something that Marvel is so far out from ever doing. And if did that, would be fucking awesome. But
yeah, then you get the second future vision dream from Batman.
The nightmare.
People, I can only imagine people watching me like, huh?
Yeah.
If they weren't familiar with this whole story and everything.
Yeah.
It made no sense being there.
Yeah.
Well, it's stuff he filmed after the fact. Like, so those last 2 films, those last 2 end credit scenes or whatever you want to call them, were things that he then, when he knew he was making the Snyder Cut, filmed. I mean, we knew he got Jared Leto back.
Yeah.
To reprise the Joker. But yeah, the Nightmare stuff's always been. I love the Injustice storyline, so I like this. I love the storyline of Superman just like breaking and being bad, and what that world looks like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird to be there. It was weird in Batman vs Superman when versus Dreaming and Flash.
That was one thing I did not like in Batman vs Superman.
Because Flash can time travel. Why was that a dream? I don't know. It just would have made less sense. Dream.
It seems like Batman's a little touched by it or something. I don't know why he would be. The Martian Manhunter shit, though, actually wasn't filmed as part of the Zack Snyder. I think he filmed that prior, and it was supposed to be Green Lantern.
I read that too, and WB nixed it.
Yeah.
They were like, no, because you cannot touch Green Lantern.
He wanted to put in, I think it was John Stewart, and then they just straight up said no. So he put in Martian Manhunter, which was cool, but he looked like shit. And that line where he just goes, "Oh, some people have called me Martian Manhunter," and then just flies away. It's like Ben Affleck should just be like, "Okay, cool, dude.
Okay,
you can call him John Jones. Like, that's better." I don't know. And I think they shoehorned him in too with the Martha and Lois it kind of
Yeah, that was
cheapened that
weird.
scene. Because
Yeah,
it was a really nice scene.
It was a nice scene between Mal Kent and Lois Lane.
And then what's weirder? A Martian walking away from a random apartment door in Metropolis, or a fucking 5-star general? Like, why turn into that guy?
To show you that it was him all along.
I get it,
That's
but
the
it was
only
just
reason.
it was so
You could have just
fucking
waited till the end of the
conspicuous.
movie and like shown it.
Yeah, that would have been better, probably.
Did-
Still cool though. Like I like that he tried to add in some different character. And
So
it's a little fuck you to one of the guys was talking about it that worked on the recut. He asked an audience who had heard of the Martian Manhunter, and everyone that raised their hands, he asked, which one of you have actually ever gotten laid or anything like that? Like, you know, Martian Manhunter, you're a loser. I think that was probably what Zack was trying to do, is like, hey, you're a scumbag. But I don't know.
Did
yeah, but I was surprised by how much I liked the movie.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah.
Especially like I was somebody who hated Batman vs Superman, who regularly shit on most of Zack Snyder's work. Like I think Dawn of the Dead's great, but I don't think he's done anything great since then. This I thought was pretty great, and the fact that 4 hours, like I was so surprised, and I hated Batman, the way they portrayed Batman in Batman vs Superman, but I really liked him in this one. More so, I like Bruce than Batman, just because you didn't get I thought
You
he was
didn't get a lot
fighting.
of Batman.
You didn't get a lot of Batman fighting like the way you did in Batman vs Superman. Which that was the one thing about Batman vs Superman I liked, was his fight scenes.
There's some flashes, like when he shoots the grappling hook at the door and swings through and kicks one of the thing, and then when he flips into that crawling machine, I thought that was very Batman-esque. And then at the very end, when he swing over and he throws the bomb at the one parademon, and then just starts fighting him. I thought that was really good Batman. But his voice sounded better in this. I think they fixed the stupid voice modulator a little bit. He's a little more clearer. He's a little more clear in this, I thought. But I still hate that last suit. I hate that stupid
I like that
night
suit.
owl cowl. That he looks like the cowl is awful.
Oh, the one at the end. The one at the end. Yeah, no, I like the
goggles.
Yeah, that one's weird.
Yeah.
Did
I love the good gray and black suit.
Yeah, that suit is awesome. Did you guys notice the thankfully there weren't that many of them, but there were a few CG effects, few scenes with CG effects that were so bad. One in particular that sticks in my mind with Jesse Eisenberg in the beginning when he's sitting in the Kryptonian ship in the pool. It literally looks like he was just superimposed into the pool. It looks so bad. And I watched it again and I was like, holy shit, this looks terrible. There was a couple other scenes where there was some like really bad CG, but
some of the Amazonian fight, Steppenwolf, there were some really bad shots when they're on horses and stuff. And then Wonder Woman's face when she's reaching for the sword is a little weird. Some of the effects definitely seem very rushed, but I mean, it's a movie that they threw some extra money at him to finish in a short period of time.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of it also is that they had all this extra footage that wasn't used, and they were trying to use it, in such a way for this cut, and that was probably the best that they could do.
Yeah,
I mean, it definitely could have been a lot worse.
Steppenwolf, though,
yeah, he looked great,
fucking great.
Yeah,
and they did so much for his backstory. It was an actually very compelling character, and then the part at the end when he's got the sad puppy dog eyes, I legitimately felt bad for him.
Yeah,
he was just trying to get home. That's all he was trying to do.
Yeah, I didn't think he was a bad villain.
No, I thought he's infinitely better than the one that they put on the big screen in 2017.
Yeah,
he was better. I didn't find him as compelling as he did. I still kind of he just still was didn't really do a ton for me, but I appreciated them trying with some extra story.
Yeah.
Darkseid
So-
was
Yeah,
awesome. The little bit that
Darkseid
we
was
saw.
cool. Desaad was neat.
Yes. And
Um,
I forgot her name. She don't hear her talk, but another
The little
character,
grandma.
Granny something.
yeah,
It's Granny.
Granny evil person.
Yeah, but another one of his henchmen, which was a cool Easter egg. But
And then like, the only thing I can think that stands out is that fight when Darkseid comes to Earth in the very beginning. That looked fucking awesome.
yeah.
That was cool.
You had the Green Lantern going. You had 2 Green Lanterns in this because I
Yep.
think in the nightmare scene, it wasn't the nightmare scene. They show it was what's the that
It was one where Superman's grieving over to Lois
right,
that you get one.
Yeah, you see
and that's
Kilowog, who's dead.
Kilowog. Yeah,
Yeah, Kilowog. I noticed that.
That was
thought
when
that was cool.
Clark Duncan played.
Yeah,
right?
the big
Yeah.
alien-looking dude.
And then is the first one in that
It's the
throwback?
big fight. Yeah. the
Yeah,
flashback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he
That's the
dies in
guy-
the ring.
I forgot
flies
who
off.
that. I
Is
forgot
that the
who
guy
that
that gives
is.
the ring to the Earth Green Lantern? Probably not.
I
It's
don't
so
remember.
Far away.
I thought that he was a human or like humanoid, maybe not an alien, but
Well,
I
he
don't-
was definitely an alien. He was some kind of weird creature, but
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought it was what's the name of the guy in the shitty Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie? It's like Aben Sur or something like that.
Abin Sur.
Which is
Abin Sur.
Aben Sur is the one
Yeah.
that gives the ring to Hal.
Hal
Yep.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Mhm.
mean, Darkseid
yeah, I
was
don't
this
think
close
so.
to fucking everyone up. He almost got that ring. That would have
Did.
been real bad.
Yeah, it would have been really bad.
That's
So,
a
Yeah,
great
so-
movie.
what are your thoughts
Go
on
ahead.
a potential second movie? Do you think there's any shot of that happening, even though Warner Brothers is saying no at this point?
No,
I
I
don't
don't
think there's
care
any
either.
shot.
I'm happy with what we got.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Zack Snyder even would want to do more of it
Oh,
at
I'm
this
sure-
point.
I'm sure he would, but I think he would if he was given the chance. But yeah, I don't
I don't know.
I mean, they're not making money on this movie. And the only people that are watching are the people that were going to watch these movies already. And the last 2 did not do well financially for them.
Well, they're getting new
so-
subscribers.
I think after this, if they were to put one out, it would probably make good money.
Perhaps. I mean,
But-
it would be post Aquaman as well.
Yeah,
Um,
but is it really
post
worth it?
Flash. Yeah.
The answer is probably not.
Yeah, I think it probably would just cause more headaches. They kind of want, especially with everything with Ray Fisher and stuff. Like,
Oh, they would have
Yeah.
to recast him, unfortunately. He burned
Yeah,
his
which
bridges.
is a shame.
and it would just be weighing in the conversation, like, or it'd be part of the conversation that would just weigh down the movie, or at least the fun of making it. So
I think more powerful to just have this. It says, look,
It's
studio, you were fucking wrong,
Yeah.
yeah,
and just leave it at that.
Pretend those last little things didn't happen. Like,
I'm so cool with it
the movie
happening.
came to an end, and then there's just like 3 little scenes that, like, and Zack Snyder said, like they told him they like didn't want him to end on cliffhangers or stuff, but he's like, comic books, they always just continue.
Yeah.
So like, yes, I'm not gonna make more, but like here, and you're not gonna make these stories, but here's how it's like I would imagine it ending, because trying to make it my vision in the way I think comic books would end. So
Yeah, it's cool with them pissing off Darkseid, and he's gonna come to Earth at some point with his armada. It'll be neat.
Yeah.
and I mean, this movie only worked because it was like 4-hour epic.
Mhm.
I think there's a version you can make of this.
Yeah.
At around like 3 hours.
You can cut a lot of the
Cool.
editing
You
out.
I mean, there's a lot of explosion, so you can definitely cut a lot of that.
Yeah.
There was,
Um,
and like you could
go
probably
to
only
full
need
speed.
probably only need Jason Momoa taking off his shirt one time.
There,
Yeah,
So-
there probably
need
is a
that
3-hour
girl
cut
singing
that works.
As he does it,
perfectly.
on top
you
of
need
that,
that weird scene where that girl's singing and the 3 other join in, taking his shirt off and
Yeah.
floating away. That was weird.
That was weird. There's so
Couldn't have
many
done
like
without that.
musical like weird, not even, they're not bad, but they were just like very long drawn out like sequences with music, with like, insert, old popular song here, or like this song, what Zack Snyder usually does with a lot of his movies. But they were drawn out. Like some of them were like 3 or 4 minutes.
I like that he saved Hallelujah for the credits, so I didn't have to
Yeah.
listen to it.
Another cover of Hallelujah.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
thought just speaking of the credits real quick, I thought the for Autumn at the
That was
end
nice.
was pretty touching, pretty
Yeah.
nice.
that
Yeah.
was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very fitting.
So you guys didn't like Jared Leto in this, I assume?
I
No.
loved when he talked about reach arounds.
That was actually
How
improv.
about-
That was
how about
fucking
you?
unnecessary.
That was improv. That was improv apparently.
Of course it was.
Shocking.
I remember I think Zack Snyder said that it was like a couple days ago. I don't know.
I mean, I would say it was too.
I
It was my movie.
I liked it, but
When he
I thought
didn't
I
ham
thought
it
it was
up
fun.
enough, I saw a Joker that I could actually watch on screen. But then when he snapped into Jim Carrey, I remembered why I really fucking don't like this Joker, because he just doesn't seem like a real anything.
I don't like his laugh.
But when he was just Jared Leto, his
Yeah.
laugh sucks.
Yeah, it's like
When he was just Jared Leto, he was scary. He was a little scary,
he looks
and it's
scary.
nicer without the tattoos.
Yes.
Totally.
No, his Joker is still a shithole.
Yeah, I would have to imagine we've seen the last of him now. I mean, obviously we'll continue to see the Flash, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman.
Maybe Batman.
We might get Ben Affleck for one more thing with the Flash. We're not going to get any more Cyborg, Ray Fisher.
That's a damn
It
shame too, because he was
doesn't
really good.
seem like we'll get more Henry Cavill as Superman.
No.
That sucks.
Yeah, he's all in on The Witcher now.
We got this, and it redeemed my thoughts on this whole era. So
Yeah.
I was happy for that. I can now say like I enjoyed Ben Affleck as Batman and everything. Looking
Welcome to
around
the
Robert
club.
Pattinson. We're only less than a year away.
Should have been out.
Yeah.
God damn it.
It would be coming out this
Could've been
summer.
this summer.
Yeah, and then
Should
this
be
fall.
out in like 2 months.
Yes, it should.
Yeah.
Hey,
God
we'll get a
damn it,
trailer
God
in a few
damn it.
months. Probably fandom, hopefully.
Are they in that again?
I thought they were, but I don't know.
I haven't heard anything, but
Wait, is that coming back around again already?
It was the summer last year. I think it was June?
August. It was August.
August.
I thought I read something that they were gonna be doing it again, but
So we still got 5 months to go.
Okay, I was like, holy shit. I feel like we were just at the
Weren't we just talking about that? Yeah. All right. So that's it. Zack Snyder Justice League.
Good movie.
Yep. Good
Is
movie.
it still at let's see what the Rotten Tomato score is.
oh yeah, I thought it was like
72.
73. Yeah, 72 now. So it keeps dropping a little bit.
72.
That's
it's
not
still
bad,
hanging
though.
in there. Audience
Which is
score
more
96.
than double what the other one wound up at, right?
Oh yeah,
It's not
it's.
saying
I think
much.
it's still
Not
his
more than-
highest rated
Not
movie.
more than double. More than double Batman vs Superman.
Oh, Justice League did better.
Justice League had like a 46, I think.
I gotta rewatch
It's
the director's cut of Batman vs Superman now, and see if I still
Dawn of
hate
the
it.
Dead has edged it out as his best Rotten Tomatoes score
Oh,
by 2.
And then those, I would put it in that order. Dawn of the Dead and Justice League.
Yeah.
I hope Army of the Dead is good. On Netflix soon.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's do it. Feature presentation.
Woo!
Today we're going to be talking about our favorite guilty pleasure movies. So like I said in the coming attractions, these are films that pretty much got bad reviews, but ended up being movies that we enjoyed more than the consensus, whether it be critics, fans, etc. So we'll start with Marvel. Thor: The Dark World. I added it to this list.
Why?
Last minute
The
edition.
reason why I put this on the list
Because Corey
is
likes
because
it.
no, if you do like it, cool. I thought like I like this more than a bunch of the other ones. Like I would watch Thor: The Dark World over the Iron Man sequels, and a bunch of other movies in the series. Not too many, maybe like 5 of them. But this is like the one that has by far the worst reviews of the entire MCU.
Don't get that.
Yeah, I think it just kind of
It's a fine movie.
I don't know.
It
does the whole comedy thing, comedy action thing that they'll end up perfecting. Like the most of any outside of like the Avengers until like they really perfected it in Phase 2. Or if you think they perfected it in Phase 3. It's got a crappy villain in it, but ultimately I think it's got fun performances by a whole lot of people. And then obviously Taika came in for Thor Ragnarok and blew away and showed us just exactly how good that group that was put together could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one that like if you throw a bunch of Marvel movies out, I'm not going to be upset about watching Thor: The Dark World the way I will with some of the others.
It's more of the subplot of that movie that subplots that I don't really like. I liked Christopher Eccleston. I mean, he was good, but like he did what he could with the shitty script that he was given for that character. I thought he was as good as he possibly could have been. But I mean, yeah, I mean the movie. I think the biggest problem is that it's just anticlimactic. Like the end it didn't end very well. It was kind of just boring at the end. And then after that, then you have like this steady stream of like basically like blockbuster, like fantastic movies that came out of the MCU after that. And that really
Dark World died
right after this one.
Movies.
Winter Soldier came out.
Exactly. Like
with the exception of like Age of Ultron.
I like it more than Age of Ultron.
And then like Ant-Man. I think I like it more than Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron sucks. I watched it recently.
They've been on fun.
Every time you watch WandaVision, does it recommend fucking Age of Ultron right after?
Yes.
God damn, I'm so sick of it. Every time we finished watching WandaVision, my wife was like, "You want to watch Age of Ultron?" I said, "No, it's not a good movie."
This algorithm is just designed to make. It's not even an algorithm. They're just telling me to watch Age of Ultron.
Seriously,
this is lazy.
It's just bad.
Kat Dennings is in it too much.
Yeah.
So, is this something you liked when you first saw it? Because I was pretty mad about seeing this one in theaters. Thor: The Dark World. Do I need to go back and rewatch it?
I don't think you need to rewatch it. I thought it was enjoyable when I saw it in theaters, but then it was really when rewatching them that I was like, this was more fun and like in my opinion, just like more entertaining and better movie than a bunch of the other ones from like the early phases. So I just never got like the complete like hate for this one. But I wouldn't say you got to go back and watch it. Odds are your opinion will be probably similar to what it was the first time, especially because now it's following up Ragnarok, and like I said, like that's Thor. So
yeah, and this one has like the black goo too, right?
Yeah, it's got some goo in it. Yeah. Yeah, I think I might even watch this one over the first. I would watch Thor: The Dark World over the first Thor.
Yeah.
I
like the first Thor. That might be my guilt. That might be my guilty pleasure. I'm like one of the few people that enjoyed the first Thor.
I like the first one.
Why are they all talking about Thor?
I'm just sitting here judging all of you for your guilty pleasures. There were no Thor movies before Ragnarok. You're all insane.
The first one is just so weird.
Right. It's just too much setup, the first one. And like they're just in like one location on Earth. Like it's so cheaply made.
Yeah.
It's some weird Arizona mining town where there's nothing around them for miles.
There's like goats and
There's like
shit.
67 people that could possibly get hurt when that big lamppost thing comes down. It's like
Yeah.
shooting laser beams.
Yeah,
what is it,
and then
the
fucking,
Destroyer?
like, Man of Steel came out 2 years later, and it's like just destroying like cities.
God damn.
To show like what actual like casualties happen.
Yeah.
When aliens come down to Earth or
Yeah, but I thought Chris Hemsworth was funny. It was
He
like there
was.
was a lot of funny scenes.
Yeah.
His wig
They
was
did the whole
ridiculous.
fish out of
Yeah, they did
the
the
fish
fish
out of
out of
water
water
stuff
well.
is pretty funny.
For sure.
When he goes to the pet store for like a
goat
hamster or something to ride. It's kind of funny.
All right. Let's go on to this year's Oscar-nominated film that I believe Doug threw on this list.
I did.
The most surprising Oscar-nominated movie of 2020, Eurovision.
Play Aya Ding Dong.
Fire and Ice Saga, or whatever it's called.
The Story of Fire Saga.
Yes. Fire and Ice. No, that's Game of Thrones.
That's Game of Thrones. I like this movie a pretty good amount. I just watched it again this weekend. So that's how much of that.
I need to
Pretty
rewatch
pleasure, I guess it
this
is.
a lot of times.
I
just think it's like it's a fun watch. I think like it has way better songs than it should. Like I think all the songs are actually like, pretty good. Yeah, Ding Dong is fine.
No, Yeah,
But like
Ding
that-
Dong is the best song ever created.
I was reading that should have been nominated for Best Song.
It should have been.
What was it? Double Trouble or whatever? The song that they perform at Eurovision. I mean, it's a good song. The God, what's the Dan Stevens character and his whole song is just
It's
amazing.
so ridiculous.
Something about a tiger or something.
I think it's so funny that they
The
decided.
voice that they dub over it. It's so
Yeah,
funny.
I think it's funny that they decided to. He's a great singer, and they decided to like not use his voice again, to use like this ridiculous dubbed over voice.
I think
They
he
would
had
have to- They would have had to pay him more.
Yeah, I guess.
I think he had a cold or something. He said where he couldn't sing.
it worked
And
out.
he was like, but yeah, he was like, it worked out better anyway because it's like way better with that other guy's deep baritone voice singing those songs. Yeah, I don't know. It's a fun movie. It's really easy to watch. I think Rachel McAdams is way funnier than I thought she would be in this
she's
movie.
funny.
I don't know how they landed on her as to cast alongside Carol in this movie because I don't
Director of
think if
Wedding
I'm casting
Crashers.
this. Okay, that makes more sense because I was thinking like if I'm trying to cast this movie, it's not going to be probably Rachel McAdams, but she does an awesome. I think she kills it in this goofy, funny role.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell's funny as always.
Pierce Brosnan. is
Yeah,
fucking
Pierce
amazing.
Brosnan's great.
Yeah, it's just not a movie you think of as like first tier like Will Ferrell. But it is very enjoyable.
It's the best thing
Yeah.
he's done in a while,
Yeah.
at least comedy wise.
I think for me the soundtrack elevates it. I just think like it's got a good soundtrack.
Yeah. I mean,
It introduced me to the fact that Eurovision is like actually a thing that happens.
Yeah, dude, Macedonia just got in trouble for cheating during Eurovision or something recently.
And,
I was reading
and the
about
fact that like this is actually like a pretty decent representation of the performances
Yep.
in Eurovision. Like
You should watch
not
them because they
realize that.
they mock so many of the winning acts that have happened over the years. There was one metal band that I used to listen to that actually won Eurovision, and they make fun of them in Eurovision, which I found.
Is that the one
fucking
where they're all
great.
dressed up?
Yeah, as monsters. Yeah, that's actually a real band. It has multiple recording deals. Eurovision is a fucking treat, just in general.
I had seen a segment about it on Last Week Tonight, like maybe a few years ago. And that was the first time I had ever heard of it. So then, like, when this movie, I found out, like, maybe 2 months before the movie came out, that this was a movie that was dropping on Netflix. I was like, what the fuck? This is going to be so weird. And the fact that it, like, seems like official, like, they use, like, the whole logo, like, everything. Like, they clearly got rights for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I
had
would
to
imagine
have.
they didn't put their name in the title of the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's the logo. They got Graham Norton, who's typically a commentator, I believe, in Eurovision. They got like a ton of old. They do the sing along scene where it's just like a ton of past famous acts on Eurovision.
Is it really?
In it?
Yeah, those were all people from have competed or won like the Eurovision contest.
I found that scene incredibly cringy. I don't know about you guys, but that made me like, I was watching it in bed and I kind of had to pull the sheets over my head and just hide for a bit.
It's a bit it's a bit more tolerable when I realized that those are all like past Eurovision winners, and like that's why they were like shoehorned in there to be like a little tribute rather than why are these random people having this sing along.
Yeah, I was just like, this is like embarrassing. But
it's funny though, because I think only Europeans would have gotten that. Like,
yeah,
it's clearly not for Americans because we didn't know what the fuck was going on. Europeans are probably like, I know that person.
Yeah,
all 7 of them that probably watched this movie because I can't imagine it's super big over there. But
all right.
The troll part was what made me laugh the most. Where the one guy gets murdered by the trolls and you don't see it. I found that.
Oh yeah, and the door like slammed shut on the troll house. That's
I
good.
really like that one.
I also like when the ship blows up and Rachel McAdams says that the troll gone too far.
It's a pretty solid comedy.
It is. And it's got Pierce Brosnan, so
he's so handsome. Every child in the village is his.
Except for Rachel McAdams' character.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
No, they established that he never slept with. They established at the end.
Probably
I just like that joke throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
What are you, siblings? Probably not. All right. There's a few films now that we've mentioned in passing on the yearly film series and Decade in Review, so we'll just jump into them. Who dropped Commando on this list?
I dropped it, but it was I've never seen it. I just need that you guys.
It's 100% a guilty pleasure. Honestly, how many times have we watched this stupid ass movie?
A lot. Part of the reason we watched it so many times was we only owned so many VHSs, or like the places, like the people's houses you'd go to would only have so many VHSs.
If you can't go to Blockbuster, boom.
And that was one that my neighbors had. So it was like that and T2 were like the two big action movies from Arnold that they owned. So fucking we watched Commando a lot.
It's like, all right,
I still remember the first time I saw this movie. It was at their house and we were just hanging out. And they said, "Oh, you want to watch Commando?" I said, "What the fuck is Commando?"
Makes sense.
And then the brilliance of it, like when he murders someone on an airplane and no one notices.
It's the loudest neck snapping like ever.
You'll have to excuse my friend, he's dead tired. When he flips over the car after it flips over and it's completely pristine and unbroken.
Nothing happened to it.
And then is that the one where he chokes the guy? He goes and snaps his.
Yeah.
Such a good cheesy ass movie.
And
if you're in the mood for like just like a ridiculous action movie that's also like very funny.
Some of the best one-liners.
I don't know if when they were shooting it, whether it was intentionally funny, but it ended up being incredibly funny. Dude, watch Commando.
So many good one-liners from my friend's dead tired to Bennett let off some steam.
Yeah, it's one of the great villains in action cinema.
With all of his
main bad guy
leather and chainmail.
The main bad guy, is he the dad from Night at the Roxbury?
Yeah.
Okay. I was remembering that.
Dan Hedaya or Dan Hedaya.
Yeah.
I forget how you pronounce it. Yes, for some reason he's like the main villain and the other guy's his henchman.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. But that was on there. JP, your movie for 2002.
I love it.
The New Guy.
God, I watched this so much.
Doug, you watched this one yet? Oh, I know you surprisingly like this one, right?
Yeah, this is one of those
it would even
movies
be
where the stars aligned, where
it's on your list too.
We all agree. We all agree on a comedy. Usually, I'm the outlier that doesn't think the comedy.
This is like Doug should not like this one.
No.
Yeah,
he
I
shouldn't.
am
doesn't
like
like
so surprised.
Doug doesn't even like good comedies sometimes that we like.
Doug thought Orange County was lackluster, but likes the new
I mean-
guy.
Yeah.
Yes, but this is one like critics fucking say it sucks. Like it's not a good movie or it shouldn't be a good movie when they just fucking cameo after cameo after cameo, and like they're not even like legit actors. It's like
Tommy
just
Lee.
whoever they could get, they threw into this movie. But yet the story was fucking good.
Yeah. And TJ Quayles is not a leading man. He's not someone that should ever be leading a movie, but it works.
No, it tells a compelling. He has a compelling arc throughout, despite just the absurdity and the ridiculous tone throughout the entire film. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's truly a great crap movie. It's so good. I haven't watched it in some time. I would say probably 5 years. I'm gonna have to watch this again very soon because
Hey.
I love this movie.
Let's hang out soon and like have a
Let's
new guy
watch the
viewing
new
party.
guy.
I'm
Yeah.
totally down for that. I think you have a DVD also, right?
Full screen?
I definitely have it somewhere. I just don't know where it is. We could
I know
potentially
where it
get
is in my parents' basement.
We could potentially get it up on the projector I have and watch it outside. If it gets
I
nice
fucking
enough.
love that idea. Let's do that soon.
Let's introduce the neighbors to the new guy.
All right. Next up is another comedy. This is another little scene comedy. Trojan War. This is one with Will Friedle, also better known as Eric Matthews from Boy Meets World. It's his quest to get laid, get a condom. It's one of those movies where you're just following a character on a crazy night of their life while they're trying to accomplish one goal. Just like the next movie on our list is like the crazy thing the day after you have that crazy night. In Dude, Where's My Car?
Dude, it's Lord of the Rings of stoner stupid movies.
I love these little small scale movies
Yeah.
where they just need to do something very simple in a certain amount of time. Like Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle did it incredibly well. I won't call it a guilty pleasure because it got good reviews.
It's a great movie.
It's universally enjoyed. Unless Doug goes, no, I don't enjoy it.
Fan of Harold and Kumar?
Okay. I like Harold and Kumar. What's funny though is Murph talking about movies that he didn't want to put down as a guilty pleasure, because I had that too, where I that's not a good movie.
Yeah.
I had a few movies like that where I'm not conceding that this is a guilty pleasure. Everyone loves this
what
movie.
I did was because yes, some movies get bad reviews, but there's a cult following to them where I don't think they're worthy of being on here. So I looked on Letterboxd and looked at the average user reviews, and everything 2.5 and below were ones that I considered worth being on here. Thor: The Dark World actually was 2.6, but I wanted to have an MCU movie on here. I don't know what Thor 1 was. But
I think higher than Thor 2.
Probably,
yeah.
But yeah, like I said, those types of movies where they're just doing a quick little mission and it just goes into absurdity and it's way harder than it should be. Whether it's buying a condom or finding your car the day after getting fucked up. I don't know. It fucking tickles my funny bone.
It's just a shame that Trojan War didn't have aliens in it.
It is. It is a shame. Dude, Where's My Car? Has it all. It's got the continuum trans functioner.
It's so good.
The gay Nordic dudes.
House Sparks.
Literally, it's got everything.
The evil hot chicks, the bubble bunch, Zoltan.
Yep.
It's such a good movie.
Sorry, Doug. Were you gonna say something? I thought you were looking at the review of Thor to see what it had.
I was actually looking up Eurovision to see if I broke your rule or not.
You probably did.
2.8.
Yeah. Oh well. That's fine.
I was trying to do it discreetly, but you called me out.
You should have just said you were looking up Thor.
Couldn't lie.
That's fair. You're honest to our viewers. I appreciate that. But again, I cheated with Thor, so
2.6 for
cheated.
Thor: The Dark World.
No, Thor won.
Oh shit!
I was wondering if that's actually worse.
I doubt
I feel like
it.
I saw the poster.
It's a 3.
Oh, so that's high. Okay.
This next one won't be high.
This next one is low. Again, love the absurd like comedies and just riffs on like an idea like that's been done to death already. Like we've talked plenty about time loop movies. There's also the body switch movie, which has been done to death. But one that
featured in our Instagram today.
That's true. It is on our Instagram post today for movies of 2006. But not this one. This one's from
not this one. A completely different one. No one's ever seen.
It is Rob Schneider's The Hot Chick. Just the fact that it stars Rob Schneider as your main character, you know it's like not supposed to be a good movie, but I find this movie funny.
It's me, Jessica.
Another one starring Rachel McAdams, so she's made it on the list twice today.
I actually love her performance in it because Rob Schneider's character is such a slob. And she does such a good job just being like a dirty, disgusting human being.
Very similar to how Catherine Newton's playing Vince Vaughn's character in Freaky. But Rob Schneider's version of playing Rachel McAdams is so much more absurd than Vince Vaughn playing Catherine Newton.
We lost Corey.
Yeah, I don't know. Is he coming back or?
It kind of fucks up the.
I mean, he said his internet was fucked up.
That's not good.
How do we look on Twitch? Well, he said that
really bad.
He said that back when he was having his fucking mental breakdown.
Oh, it looks horrible on Twitch.
Hi, Twitch. I'm over here. I'm also down here. I would move it around, but Corey will probably be back in a second. I hope.
It's on a delay, so I can't.
Yeah, it takes a minute to adjust it.
It's fun.
We're still here.
Oh, I can't find my other hand. Oh, this is my hand. Okay.
Oh, a little too high.
Oh, bring that one down. No, I can.
This is what happens when someone fucks up.
Yeah, if Corey doesn't come back around here, I'm gonna turn these off, and then I'm gonna set it up. We can talk to Twitch chat for a little while.
Now you can see me like. That's true. We have any good comments to?
I mean, Dirk's loving this. Dirk's loving the.
Dirk's in his element with these movies.
Loving the hot chick.
Corey did everything shit the bed for you guys. Nope, just you.
Nope, we're straight. It's all good.
Zencaster's still going too.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean,
it's probably just Discord.
Corey, but...
Oh, Corey's out of Zencaster. That's what you meant.
Uh-oh.
Well, he's out, but it's still recording.
Yes. Could he go back in though?
It's good though. We can talk to Twitch chat. This is a good time.
All right, let me read some of these.
Oh, Dirk's loving this shit.
Vanishing Hoboken, New Jersey.
That was me. Oh man.
It's me, Jessica.
It's me.
Donkey Lips in the blog situation.
Oh my god. I don't know if there's anyone in this chat that doesn't know that story because it's probably just all people that know us. But one time we all waited to see Kevin Smith in New Jersey, and Donkey Lips from Salute Your Shorts showed up. The actor. I don't remember what his actual name is because it's probably irrelevant unless he's in the chat, in which case you're the greatest guy in the world. Our friend, who's the most miserable person in the world at this point, because we've been waiting like. What do you think, Murph? It's been like 6 hours that we were waiting at that point?
No, this was early. It was only like 2 hours. 2 hours maybe, at most.
Oh, right, because it set the tone for the rest of the day.
We were all the way in the back of the line still.
Yeah, he goes, Donkey Lips, I didn't know you were going to be here. He goes, it was on my blog. And our friend just fucking shut up, put a scowl on his face.
For the next 10 hours.
And that was the end of his day. Holy
Oh
shit!
man, he
What a
was so
day.
mad about that.
He was so angry, so fucking angry.
Corey,
good
wonderful.
times.
What's wrong with it?
Is he coming back? He's not coming back.
Are you coming back for this program that's live right now?
Guys,
if not, we just gotta like soldier on, right? The show must go on.
The show must go on. This is live, breathe, film. This isn't fucking go home crying. We finished the job.
Yeah, the problem is though that Corey records all this shit.
That's true.
That is a problem.
That's the main problem, is that Corey records our episode. So everyone on Twitch right now might be getting the end of the episode, and it's not going to get aired anywhere.
Dirk goes, "Go with the WandaVision, please stand by."
I'm going to eventually do
difficulties.
That. Well, you know what though? Now I got it so that if someone ever disconnects, we're probably still fucked, because it's just going to show up weird again.
All right. Well,
window capturing.
Internet isn't working. No. All right. Well, I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick.
Yeah.
Maybe by then his internet will be working.
It's a great time to talk
about
Twitch chat. Talk to us. Let's talk about movies and stuff. We got a whole bunch of shit we can talk about. We never get to do this in the middle of an episode. Doug's pissed because it's gonna keep going on forever. You can see the look of frustration in his eyes.
Yeah.
Doug has a life. He needs to not be recording episodes until late at night.
I just need my sleep. That's all.
You can sleep when you're dead, Doug. You can sleep when you're dead.
It's all right though. We can.
Murph and Doug, just sleep underneath your desk. You got a desk, right?
I've got a desk. I just need
stands of that shit.
Second Seinfeld reference of the night. Yeah, I can definitely.
Hell yeah.
Put a little bed, a little alarm clock down there.
You have a door to your office?
I do.
Dude, when the door is closed...
Got one of those, like, those side windows, though, where you see... They'll, like...
They're not frosted?
No, it's one of those... You see them in offices, like, at least... a lot of the places I've worked recently, there's, like, windows so they can... So you're not, like, having sex or something crazy. The door shut.
Yeah, who would ever do that?
I guess it's been a problem.
Yeah, apparently. Dude, Donkey Lips is on Cameo for $50. Oh boy, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Get a little shout out to your brother. There we are. There's Corey, who's down in the lower left-hand corner. He's gone. His internet doesn't work. Fucking Zoltan. I love this. Yeah. So we back-to-back talked about movies that had O'Connell brothers in them. New guy has 2 O'Connell brothers. Whatchamacallit? Dude, Where's My Car has just got the one less famous O'Connell brother.
How many O'Connell brothers are there?
We had a trend of O'Connell brothers in our movies as well.
Just 2. They're twins.
There's the 2. There's Jerry O'Connell and there's another one
that didn't act a whole lot.
Charlie O'Connell.
Okay.
What was he in of note other than the new guy and Dude, Where's My Car?
I don't know.
Oh, Tomcats. Solid O'Connell movie. I watched the shit out of that one. It's got Jake Busey in it.
Do we have any other like similarities between movies, like regular appearances? I mean, we will with the next thing.
Are we gonna like decode like our code for shitty movies?
These elements we're guaranteed to like the films.
We're gonna lay them all out on a table and just stare and be like, "Oh shit! There's shit linking all our shitty movies together."
Yes, I mean, if you do like some sort of, I don't know, body swap thing that takes place over one night and stars, I don't know, who's it starring?
Rob Schneider.
Well, yeah, definitely Rob Schneider.
I will say though, man, I would add on
Rachel
Deuce
McAdams.
Bigelow to this movie. Or to this.
Oh,
list,
he's back.
He's back. God damn it! Now I got to change things again.
Well, let's Make sure he's really back.
But that's where Corey is. Corey's gonna go. Yeah, Murph's gonna go. There he is. We're losing viewers like crazy, guys. No one wants to see technical difficulties.
Hello.
Hi, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
We missed you.
We're just glad you're back, Corey.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I'm here.
we were having quite the laugh when right before you hopped off talking about the hot chick and
Yeah, I heard the new guy,
dude, where's my car?
and that was it.
Wait, you stopped hearing all the way the new guy? You didn't hear Trojan War
No.
or dude, where's my car?
Everything just froze, and I just sat here hoping, because it was freezing every so often for me. And then it just never came back, and then Discord
all
just...
right, well, you missed a few movies, but
it's all right.
Yeah.
We still got a couple good ones left.
All right, we're back.
Gang's all here.
The gang's all here. So Corey missed out on the discussion of everything from the new guy on.
Wow, that's amazing.
He was frozen, and then I guess just disappeared at the hot chick.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Corey,
I love how like no one was like, "What's going on with Corey?"
We were just so busy laughing about these dumbass movies that we love. Corey, any quick thoughts on the new guy, Trojan War, dude, where's my car, and the hot chick? You like them all?
Yeah, I haven't seen the hot chick and Trojan War. I mean, we talked about this in such a long time, but I did hear that.
I sold my DVD. I shamed myself into thinking that
I sold your DVD.
I took the price. I was like, it's supposed to be a bad movie. Like, why do I own this? And I sold it. I know. I was a pussy. I feel bad.
I think the last thing that I heard was JP having the idea to show Dude, Where's My Car in your backyard.
No, that was the new guy.
I think that was, or the new guy. Okay,
yeah,
so
that
I guess that was the last thing that I heard. But yeah, yeah. I mean, I like all these movies. I just after us talking about Trojan War, now this is probably like the second or third time we have to friggin' find that movie. I want to watch it.
Got to get the VHS for $100.
It seems like that, yeah.
God. So it never was released on DVD?
We can rent it at a video store.
It never made it to DVD?
I think, no. I don't remember.
I can't imagine they ever decided to print a DVD of Trojan War.
Just like Orange County.
Yeah, it's on DVD.
Why not?
Oh, it is.
It's on DVD?
It's on DVD.
It is on DVD?
Doug, order it. And
there you go.
We'll watch it next time we're in Florida.
It's $9.99 on Best Buy.
Oh wow, that's very cheap.
Yeah,
all right.
It's $12.99 on the Warner Brothers shop if you want to go that route.
No,
support the studio.
Let's split it 4 ways and we'll watch it.
We could do a live stream.
Wait, JP, have
a
you
live
seen
stream
this
and then get DCMA by
have.
Warner Brothers for watching.
We watched it
Trojan
together
War.
once.
All right, that sounds right.
Probably in Corey's basement. Probably on VHS.
Probably. That all sounds correct. All right. We've got 2 more. The next one is just a conglomerate of most Adam Sandler movies. Since
I have to say,
Halloween
generally gets panned for everything. But there were a lot that fell into my criteria that I would put that I think we would warrant on this list. The first one being JP's favorite Sandler flick, Mr. Deeds.
I love it so much. I love it so much. I think I saw it 4 times in theaters. And almost pissed myself laughing every single time.
You definitely saw more than like anyone.
Oh, it's so good. I love that movie.
I know Jack and Jill met the criteria. I think Zohan, I'm pretty sure, met the criteria.
Wait, you guys unironically like Jack and Jill?
I didn't think it was bad. It's got Al Pacino.
I've never seen it.
Doing the Dunkachino dance.
Yeah. Yikes.
It's not one I've watched since I saw it the first time, but I do not think it deserved like under 10% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It got critically murdered.
It did not deserve that. that was just them continuing to rip on Adam Sandler, and it was an easy target. Sandman, got your back, bro.
He's in chat, so
He's watching. Adam Sandler's watching, guys. So if you have any questions, just shoot them in the chat.
There's probably not a lot of Adam Sandler movies that actually meet the criteria, right? Because a lot of them are seem pretty high. Like, you're not going to get a happy.
No, there's a lot.
Hubie Halloween definitely does.
Hubie Halloween does. Okay, so the movies that meet the criteria are Mr. Deeds, The Week Of with Chris Rock, Hubie Halloween, Little Nicky,
Ooh,
You Don't Mess with the Zohan.
What?
I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. That's My Boy. Sandy Wexler, The Do-Over, Ridiculous Six, Jack and Jill, Bulletproof. That's really it. Murder Mystery. Nope, that doesn't mean it.
Have any of you seen The Do-Over?
Yes.
I was watching the preview the other day on Netflix, and I felt compelled to watch it.
Do it. I want to hear your review.
Is it a bad idea?
It's not that great.
It seems like the less
David
like the
Spade is more the main character.
Yeah. It seems like the least stupid Adam Sandler movie I could probably watch.
No,
I think you should just rewatch
the best one that he did on Netflix, other than Hubie Halloween, is The Week Of, the one with Chris Rock.
But
that is one I legitimately think is a good movie.
Is it actually funny?
Yes.
Okay.
It's funny.
I might go down this hole.
Do it. That's how I started. That's how I started 2020.
Oh, I might go down the Adam Sandler Netflix hole, but dude, you started 2020 watching. You might be the reason we're fucking stuck inside, man. You might have brought forth one of the great plagues by watching.
I set myself up so like the year couldn't get worse,
but it did,
and then it got a lot worse.
You just see them over at like Netflix headquarters, like, oh my god, somebody's watching all the Adam Sandler movies.
Release the virus.
Why is he watching Ridiculous Six? Nobody watches Ridiculous.
We have to stop this now.
But yes, I would love for you to do that and report back on what you're watching every week.
I might do this. I think this might be our next couple weeks. I'll save it for one a week just so I don't.
You don't want to go crazy.
Myself.
That's what I did. I did one a week. I wanted to savor each one, like get to really reflect upon each one that I watched.
Fuck it. It's content. I'll do it. I'll start with a do-over.
Love it. All right. And finally, one of the worst movies of all time, but one that we've paid to see in a movie theater multiple times on a re-release, no less. Tommy Wiseau's The Room.
I have a goddamn Nerf football signed by Tommy Wiseau, and I threw it around with him.
I have boxers signed by him.
You do.
I have a DVD signed by him, and I asked him in front of a live audience how his sex life was.
That's amazing. I was one person in line from getting a signed copy of the script. They sold out right before I got there, and it broke my damn heart.
I think I was too drunk to even remember that.
Yeah,
so good.
That was a good time.
This is if anyone's seen The Disaster Artist with Seth Rogen, James Franco, Dave Franco, it's that movie. They're making this movie, The Room. The Room's a real movie. It was made by a real person.
Is he really a real person though?
I mean, maybe he's an alien.
Yeah, he's an alien.
Nobody really knows his backstory, but it's just a completely confounding movie that doesn't make any sense. Where it's like every bad decision that could be made to make this film was made, and yet like when you combine all that shit together, it turns into a movie that you can watch, laugh, and enjoy. Whether it's in a sold out theater at midnight with the fucking director and star there, or at home just watch it with your friends or whatever. Yeah,
it was
funny.
sold out at
It's
midnight
good.
without the director there too, which is
It
wild.
was, dude. The time we went and he was there, they had 6 showings sold out,
Yeah,
all like staggered, like 10 minutes apart, so he can go into and introduce each movie and do a little Q&A before each one. Wild.
it might be one of the biggest cult movies of our generation because just the amount of people in Hollywood alone that have seen this that can talk about it is insane.
Yeah.
It's such a quotable film. It has like so many hilarious and just cringy moments. That was
the
like,
story
probably,
makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. I
The
mean,
editing is horrible.
Yeah, I can't even,
most of
dude,
it.
I can't even like really explain the story. I mean, what how would
He
you,
loves Lisa so
let's
much.
say, all right, challenge. You got a 1-sentence synopsis, like describing what this movie is.
I love Lisa so much. Mark is my best friend. Why, Lisa? Why? And that's all a run-on sentence because that would be in the script.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible to do. Doug, have you seen this one yet? You've seen Disaster Artist, I believe.
I've seen Disaster Artist. I haven't seen The Room.
Disaster Artist was such a fucking letdown to me.
Because it couldn't be better than the actual movie.
I thought it was so fucking
liked
bad.
I liked it a lot.
It just
I was
didn't do this
entertained,
movie
but
justice.
The problem for me was that I read the book that it was made on, and the book was so much better.
Yeah.
Like the book, I was dying laughing. Like I was on an airplane and I was laughing so loud, like obnoxiously. So the movie just couldn't hold up. And like Tommy Wiseau is just such a unique person. It's impossible to imitate. Jim Franco couldn't really do it.
He did a very bad job, yeah.
I thought he did a good job, but I mean,
I thought he swing and a miss, but
I'm glad he that it got made. Like I think it's a cool concept for a movie,
and it definitely introduced a lot of people to the room and got them watching it.
Without
which I think is wonderful because it truly is one of the weirdest things that's ever existed. I still think that Tommy Wiseau is the greatest actor known to man, and he's been playing a character since the moment he showed up randomly to make a movie.
He's the modern day Andy Kaufman.
I really think he is.
But yeah, that's our list. So yeah, send us your guilty pleasure movies. I'm sure you've got some ones that probably stink, but we enjoy as well. So we'd love to hear them. But other than that, I think we're done talking about guilty pleasure movies.
Yeah.
All right. So then that's it for today. Thank you again for listening. We're going to be covering 2006 in our yearly film series. So you can check that out on YouTube. If you are listening on Twitch, stick on out for the next couple minutes from now. We'll be starting that. Next week, we are going to be covering Dream versus movies that we would like to see since Godzilla vs. Kong is coming out. So we've already seen Freddy vs. Jason, Batman vs. Superman. What are some other ones we've seen?
Couldn't even tell you.
I can't
Brendan Fraser versus the Mummy.
Can't think of any off the top of my head.
3 times.
Jet Li versus Jason Statham.
Alien versus Predator. Shout out to Derek.
Yes, thank you, Derek. That was one of the big ones of the last since post Freddy vs. Jason. All right, so yeah, we're gonna talk about ones we would like to see someday. We'll try to keep it within being realistic. So like if it's 2 different studios, odds are we're not gonna see it. So, but yeah, come back next week and you'll hear that. But as always, this has been Corey, Doug, JP, and Murph at Live Breathe Film. We'll be back next week, and we hope you are too.